Eccles, who was the SEC's RBI leader this year. They will face Ashley Rogers. They only saw her briefly in the regular season series. It was a 3-game sweep for Tennessee. And the senior with a 15-1 record, and the pitching staff, she leads the way with the best ERA in the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, one of the best staff ERAs in the country, and led by Rogers. She's just super dynamic in everything that she does. Got a great rise ball, will mix speeds, a lot of experience.
And quick work of Skylar Wallace.
And that's
sits her down.
That's one of the things you'll see from Ashley Rogers is when she's on, she will not need to play with hitters. She won't waste a lot of pitches. She can really do a good job of working the corners. And so Ashley Rogers, when she is on, you're going to see her throw the ball in the mid-60s. She's got a rise and a curveball that she'll work on the edges with that curve and run it. But it's the changeup in any count that makes those other pitches so explosive. So when that changeup is on, the rise ball is dancing and the curve is on the edges, she's unhittable.
I think that first one was the curveball, Smitty, that got her?
On the outer half.
Here's Kendra Falby. Falby, the lefty slapper, one of the fastest players in the country.
Smitty, why? So Ashley Rogers throwing the curveball to both sides of the plate, strike out there against Wallace. Why does she go to a backdoor curve and not have a screwball?
Because she's trying to make hitters think that the ball's off the corner and then bend it back in, versus the screwball, she's going to throw it on the corner and let it run out of the zone. So a little bit different philosophy, and part of it too for her, because she has battled some injuries, is a screwball can be a little bit difficult on your body at times. So because she's had some issues.
Yeah, that was the reason she only threw a couple of innings in the regular season series. I'm talking to Karen Weekly pregame. They have done all they could to make sure she is healthy for the home stretch when they were able to clinch the regular season, and now obviously into the SEC and on to the NCAA. And Falby sneaks one through the 5-6 hole. And a one-out base runner. If it's anything like the regular season, by the way, get ready for an absolute slugfest. The teams combined for 47 runs in the 3 games.
Oh, I'm ready for it. 5-6 hole, Kendra Falby. I mean, that's just textbook slap base hit right there.
Here's Charlotte Eccles. First pitch swinging, and Falby was on the move. Opponents have swiped 25 bags off of Julia Koutsianopoulos, the catcher today. She's caught 8 stealing. Charla this morning was named first team All-SEC. Real nice bounce back year for her at the plate. And Falby didn't see it get away from the catcher until it was too late. She'll stay at first. Runner goes this time. The throw down for the lefty catcher, not in time, and a stolen base for Kendra.
'25th stolen base of the year. Such long strides, a great jump, goes right into the bag.
Nice, perfect throw too. Speed of Falby. Foot in there before.
Ball. RBI opportunity for the best in the league this year. .63 the total now for Charlotte. Gators come in here looking to continue the trend. We've had 5 upsets already in this SEC tournament, although when we talked to Karen Weekly pregame, she said, does anybody really consider Florida to ever be an underdog? And we were all in agreement, no.
No, exactly.
Not with how good the Gators have been for a long, long time. They were the preseason favorites, but things did not go their way. They are going to need a big outing from their pitching staff that got roughed up against Tennessee in the regular season.
Yeah, that series was, ooh. It was hard to be in the circle in that series.
Tough to watch as a
Yes,
pitcher, Smitty?
yes, exactly. I know Jess is smiling from ear to ear.
A lot of offense. Well, and I think, too, for Ashley Rogers to know that she threw, what, 2 innings?
She wasn't a part of that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think getting the start today and understanding they got beat up as a team, but even just the strikeout to lead this off against Wallace, there's a mission and a plan for Tennessee.
Eccles, fly ball to left. Riley West has it, 2 down. Reagan Walsh in the 4 spot in the lineup. 327 on the year. 7 home runs. Out in front of the off speed.
That was dirty.
Yeah, and that's the pitch. It's the one that sets up everything. You can see the way she hides it so well, tumbles over the top.
But the run on it, too. I mean, that started away and came back over the plate. You don't see that a lot from a right-handed pitcher. That was a nasty pitch.
She's got so much movement. Ashley Rogers is just so good with her fingertips, like really manipulating the ball, spinning the ball. That's why she has that late sharp movement.
Ball down.
It's just been good to see her healthy. And obviously the staff that she now has behind her. And
Well, and I think mentally as well, it's taken the pressure off of her, right? So physically, she's got help, and that just mentally takes the pressure off you as well, especially when you have an offense that puts runs up.
Just outside the line. The Gators so far in the tournament 2 for 9 with a runner in scoring position off of their first round win against Kentucky. They eliminated the Cats 6-2. Home runs from Skylar Wallace and Kayla Pollard. And it was a good Hightower-Trilochick combo in the circle. They will start Riley Trilochick today. But Hightower is already loosening up in the bullpen. So, as it has been all year for Florida, all hands on deck.
Pitch by committee.
But if you're a starting pitcher and the relief pitcher is already warming up before you've thrown a pitch, like
you're looking over your shoulder a bit
like
there,
you haven't even given me a
Smitty?
chance.
Well, it's an interesting move because Trilochick has been primarily out of the bullpen all season. One of her starts was during the Tennessee series.
Well, and I'm sure part of why Hightower is out there is starting pitchers or pitchers that they have their routine. And I think when you know that you're coming into the game, you want to be able to go through that routine, not feel like you're rushed or wait till, shoot, now runners are in scoring position and they want me now.
Ball outside.
Walsh draws the walk. The other thing to note, of course, is it is the hottest day of the tournament so far. We may see a lot more of the sun today, and the winner of this game has a split doubleheader. They will come back and play a second game tonight against Alabama. Loser heads home to watch the selection show on Sunday night. 2 hours of coverage for you on ESPN2 starting at 7 o'clock. As Pal Egan now will come up with 2 aboard. Getting together or just a battery discussion? Pitcher catcher?
Ball.
Egan pops it up. And that'll take care of it. A couple left on base for Florida. Riley Trilochick is the senior from Texas. Got a no decision in her one start against Tennessee. Also on a relief appearance where she took a loss. But critical to keep the ball in the yard in her 7 innings of work. Tennessee knocked it out 3 times, including one from Kiki.
Yeah, and you can see Kiki Malloy. Look how far off the plate she is. She's in the back of that batter's box, knowing that Trilicek is going to work that curveball underneath her hands and try to get inside so she can't get extended. This is a Tennessee lineup where only 2 of the 9 are left-handed. So Trilicek really going to need to run that curveball underneath their hands.
Malloy, glove by Eccles, showing off that she's a member of the newly minted All-SEC defensive team. The snag at third.
I mean, this is a shot, but also the lateral movement. I mean, being able to move to her left, the reacts, ain't no thing. I love how hard this ball is hit, and then how easy Eccles makes it look.
And how about the positioning? She was right on the line. Normally, she is not that far or that close to the line.
Which tells you how they're playing to pitch these righties.
Exactly. They are going to be covering that line all day long, especially working underneath the hands.
And you see Eccles almost with the chalk underfoot. The commentary from some of our staff here, it's vintage Bogle Park with the actual chalk lines, not the paint here at Arkansas. Pooney knocked down by Trilicek. Eccles tries to scoop and not in time. So a base runner here with 1 out. On the infield hit for Zeta.
Just goes off of the glove. Good job by Eccles to try to pick it up on the secondary play. And I think if Trilicek doesn't get her glove on it, that's a base hit up the middle.
The one and only time today you'll hear us call her McKenna Gibson. Everybody else calls her Boo.
Boo.
And she is in the 3 spot in the lineup. Boy, and it's not just Eccles, Smitty, who has actually moved closer to the bag at third, but look at where Skylar Wallace is at almost beer league short fielder over there. She's so far to the left.
Reagan Walsh, second base, pulled up the middle.
Take a look. Let's see.
Ball out. It is the debut for Tennessee, their first action. They've been here since Wednesday night. They just played a series here a couple weeks ago.
Well, look at this, and look at the hole going right back up the middle.
Ball.
Now to play the left fielders from side, Riley West.
Here's Riley West, the junior from Eastvale, California. 261 on the season for Riley. Chance for Florida, they couldn't cash it in the top, and now an opportunity for Tennessee to grab the lead.
Oh, buddy, yeah.
Look at that hat. That is adores.
That's a prequel to Mother's Day right there. Dad taking care of the baby. Love it.
Wallace had to back up, but still makes the play to get the runner at second, as Pooney was coming across her face to get to third. So runners on the corners here with 2 outs.
This is a great defensive play by Skylar Wallace. This ball is hit hard going back up the middle, a little bit of traffic in front of her, takes a high hop. Good toss over to Reagan Walsh. And I like that Wash holds on to this. No opportunity for a double play here, so decides to hang on to it. First and third situation.
Here's Lair Boutte.
Outside.
Outside, says Paul Eds. He's behind the plate. Brian Crochet, Chris Neighbors on the bases. Swing and a miss for Trilicek. Lair, the first lefty in the order, one of just 2 today for Tennessee. She drove in 4 runs in the Florida series sweep during the regular season. (41-8) for Tennessee as they win their first regular season championship in 16 years. Karen Weekly, your coach of the year. Doing a fabulous job to get them back on top.
I like it.
Talk to us this week about how meaningful it is to sustain for an entire year. I think you ask most coaches and players, that regular season crown does mean just a little bit extra to have done it over the course of 3 months. And Boutte picks up the RBI. 1-0 Tennessee.
And I love the way that Lair Boutte got herself in a 3-1 count. Head coach Weekly was tapping at her head saying, be smart, knowing that she's got to look for that curveball going away, not fish for the one off the plate, but wait for this. On a 3-1 count, she gets the pitch. She was patient and drives it through that 5-6 hole. Look at it right there. That's coach is saying, be smart here, understand the situation and how they're going to pitch you. Lair Boutte does that. They pick up the first run of the game.
Skied out to Pal Egan and right, and that'll take care of it. But a run up for the 1 seed and a 1-0 lead.
Afraid of failure. They are not afraid of judgment. They're just going out and winning a championship.
That's a huge step, I think, especially for a lot of female athletes in this era of social media. It is so easy to get caught up on all the anonymous critics out there. And the failure and the ability to get back up again, so critical to your growth as a player and as a person, right?
Yeah, and for them to talk about it. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is when your leadership is saying, let's talk about the things, what makes us vulnerable, but also that it's okay to have the swag and the confidence and just kind of own everything. And you look at Tennessee's history and kind of what they've done over the last decade and the success that they've had. I mean, 2007, I think about Monica Abbott, 2007, the run that they went on to the World Series, but even Super Regionals. Last time that they were at the Women's College World Series, it's been 8 years.
Yeah, this is probably their best team.
Yep,
best
the
chance to go
Renfro
back.
sisters. Yep.
Oh, that epic series with Oklahoma.
Yep.
Maddie Shipman, right, had that huge home run, and then of
Yes.
course that was the tail end of the Lauren Chamberlain, Kaylani Ricketts era that was so good at OU.
That just keeps going. Say era, and it's just kind of a decade.
Well, this is a talented, obviously, Tennessee team. I mean, the consistency that they showed all year long.
Pollard, fly ball out to Malloy. And I know, you know, the RPI is math, and it's all based on the numbers and your win percentage, your opponent's win percentage. Somehow Tennessee is still hovering around a 10 or 11 RPI. And so I really hope the selection committee is going to use a lot of the other indicators and the eye test in particular. I mean, we've talked about it all weekend. This is a top 4 team in the country.
Agreed. I'd be very disappointed if they weren't in the top 4 or 5.
Yeah, certainly a host as a top 8. I mean,
exactly.
SEC champs. Got to be up there around Florida State and UCLA and Oklahoma. There is the resume. 15 top 25 wins. That is amongst the best. And I think that's a huge indicator for me is how do you fare against the other really good teams?
Yes.
And there are a bunch of teams in the top 16 RPI right now that have losing records against the rest of the top 25. Tennessee is not one of those.
They won the SEC. I mean,
Yeah.
how are they not one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the country, period?
You don't consider where a team finishes in league play or whether they win a championship, but I think in your head, as a member of that selection committee, that would certainly be on my mind.
Yeah.
That's why you have
Points.
humans
Yeah.
on the committee, not computers.
Rogers gets another strikeout. 2 down. That's her second.
Rogers showing why she's one of the best in the business. She's got that late, sharp break, really good location, a rise ball. It's low, it's not way up at the eyes. It's at the belt level, and that's one of the things that Rogers does so well, is that she can throw that rise ball on multiple planes. Oh, and then she follows it with that changeup, knee buckle.
Sarah Longley in the 8th spot in the order.
Ball. Yeah. Up. See that?
We've been talking all week about the great plays out in left field. How about down the left field line? The one-hander for Dorian with the snag.
Left hand,
Nice.
too.
And then to stay at home. Gators have really good numbers, and Auburn is now making a stronger case with a trip to the SEC semifinals. So it's big for them coming up next to get to the championship game, try and win the SEC tournament. Could really solidify their chances. For Tim Walton in Florida, I mean, so good for so long. They have been a top 5 seed in the tournament 13 years in a row before that streak ended last year, and they still made it back to the World Series going on the road for the Supers. Koutsianopoulos, foul ball. How about this one, too? The highest RPI SEC school right now is LSU at 7. Since we went to this new format back in 2005, so this would be the 18th year. Every year there has been an SEC school with a top 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. That's courtesy of our graphics crew out in the Mitch Mansion this morning in our production facility here in Fayetteville. All the folks who have worked through some difficult weather conditions, helping us out with all the sights and sounds. Whether it's our production staff out there, we've also got the Pelkey Palace. We've got
Rai Rai.
Rai Rai.
The Rai room.
The Rai Rai room with all the
Making the magic.
all the nice artistic enhancements for you.
We take over a town.
Oh yeah. And don't forget the Epstein Estates out there. The only thing missing so far is a trip to the Speakeasy. We'll see what happens the next couple of days.
We've been here.
Always fun
all
to come
day.
to Fayetteville.
That's right.
One down in the 0-2 pitch to Brockenbrough. Nice spin move from Trilicek, 2 out. Katie Taylor in the 9 spot. Trying to pass the bat to Kiki Malloy back at the top.
Ball.
A run in the first for Tennessee on Lair Boute's RBI single to score Zeta Pooney.
Inside.
Oh, they're setting up for a
Got
big
their
day.
own chairs. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go hang with them. They're setting up for all day too.
I like the parenting skills, too. Make them
Yeah.
carry their own weight.
That's right.
Get them started early.
You want your own chair?
Hops up on Eccles and able to leg it out as Taylor. So Malloy will come up with a runner aboard. Looking for the 50th RBI of her season for Kiki. She's homered in her last 2 games and reached in 18 straight. She lined out to third her first time up. Malloy gets a hold of one, a no-doubter, gone, 2-run shot with 2 outs here in the second.
Wow.
22nd home run of the season for Kiki Malloy. We had talked about how she was off the plate to not be able to get jammed with Trilicek coming inside, and this one actually leaks more middle to away. This is the cookie store for Kiki Malloy. You miss middle with her and you're gonna pay. And look how calm. I mean, this is such not a max effort swing. It looks like almost like she's hitting off a tee. Just a warm up, getting my swing going, and look at how far it ends up going.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to go into that location with her, because she was just so on time.
22nd of the year, Malloy right in the thick of the national home run chase. And it's 3-0 Tennessee.
We see more and more teams put their power hitters at the very top of the lineup. I mean, historically, it was always your 3 and 4 hitters that had the most home runs. And obviously with Kiki Malloy, Skylar Wallace, they have the speed to go with it. But you got to give credit to Katie Taylor, who in that 9 spot, it puts so much more emphasis to get on base, force teams to throw to Kiki.
Yeah, and with her speed, you know, that error that should have been out of the inning, Kiki never comes up, but she's able to get on base, and then Malloy first pitch swinging. And that's how quickly this Tennessee team can just accelerate their scoring opportunities.
Yeah, you're thinking 2 quick outs, bottom of the lineup, they're going to be done, and then give them a little bit, an error, base runner, and Kiki gets up to bat.
Well, the first error of the tournament for the Gators, and it cost them. As Malloy mashes. Might be the deepest one we've seen here so far this week. What is that, home run number 11
Dead.
for the tournament? And that hit Pooney, so she's on for the second time. Second free pass.
Ouch. It's going to leave a mark.
Wallace backs up, fires to first. Side retired, but damage done off the bat of Kiki.
It's a beautiful swing. Kiki.
First baseman.
Ball up.
Winner of this one comes back tonight, 6:30, to face Alabama. Crimson Tide an extra innings win over the home team and the defending champion Arkansas Razorbacks. They are out. The Tide has moved on. And of course, one of the major storylines moving forward, not only this weekend, but into the NCAA tournament, is the extent of an injury suffered by Montana Fouts, the ace pitcher for Alabama. In Holly's post-game interview with Patrick Murphy, he already indicated their plan was to just pitch her the first 2 games and go with the rest of the staff after that. So we will not see Fouts likely tonight, even if she does come back healthy. Holly Rowe was asking around this morning. No update officially from Alabama. But of course, softball fans nationwide hoping that they can watch Montana again in the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely.
We'll see. A handful of players that I think you would consider the most valuable player for their team, like a Skylar Wallace would be for Florida, for example. She's in the on-deck circle and will not have a base runner on in front of her as Rowe pops it up, 1 down. Skylar struck out on a curveball. Didn't look at a whole lot of pitches that first at-bat with Rogers. Let's see what happens the second time around.
I love how they threw her too. I mean, they kind of got her off the plate a little bit in and then went away twice. Got her kind of waving, which you rarely see.
3 pitches, struck her out on 3 pitches.
Yeah.
And the strikeout was like a check. She was kind of confused. And you don't really see that a lot, as you said.
Well, the one at bat she had against Rogers coming into this was a home run on a rise ball over her head.
Down.
So I imagine they'll stay away from that.
Yeah.
That's usually what you want as a pitcher. Okay, I executed the rise over your head and you still got me.
That was just her 14th strikeout all year.
Ball down.
And Rogers being super shy here, 3-0. And a base hit for Skylar Wallace, and we will send it down to Holly Rowe.
Skylar Wallace says she really changed her mentality as a hitter this year. Instead of just trying to get the ball in play, she's decided to focus on power. She said it really means that I have to control the ball on my hand, keep my hands inside, and take my hands to the middle of the field. She's worked a ton on strength of her core and torso. Lots of extra core with medicine balls, explosive jumping, and Pilates. She says she's been making a huge difference with her body starting at the beginning of the year until now, doing the reformer table in Pilates. Really working on that core so that torque and that twist is explosive. And Skylar Wallace, her coach Tim Walton, said nobody works harder. She's pushed me as a coach. I've never had an athlete that forces me to work harder, and she's the one.
Yeah, the result, 19 home runs. Another player in the national chase. And she dives back into first. 3 of those home runs off of Tennessee pitching, by the way. And she is chasing some single season records. She already has the runs record from a year ago. The slug, I think, is a no-brainer at this point, as you've referenced, Jess, over 1,000.
It's insane.
And she's 1 for 2 today. They'll try to get her at second, and they do on a nice play from Pooney.
I think she was safe.
And I think Wallace may want to take a second look. Tim Walton agrees, says, yep.
She was stealing on the pitch, and I think that's why. She could have been out, but she looked, that was a close play on a...
It'll go to the SEC Replay Review Center.
She's safe.
Yeah, I think she got there. Have to have proof to change it, and
Yeah.
I think there is the video evidence there to do so. Smitty is in disagreement, perhaps? A little shake of the head.
Yeah, I think she's out right there.
Okay.
After review, the play at second base has been upheld. Runners out.
Smitty, 1-0.
Put it on the
Smitty wins
tally
it.
board.
All right.
Tally it up.
be a long
Wallace
day, folks.
out at second, 2 down.
When am I allowed to gloat?
Immediately.
When did
you better gloat now because it may
Yeah,
not last
yeah, I
long.
was gonna say, we're coming
until
after
the next
you.
challenge.
Yeah.
She's safe. I don't know.
You know, it's hard to tell when the dirt flies. Is it her foot or is it
maybe.
the
Not on the
dirt?
bag, right there. Yeah, it wasn't on the bag. There, no. That was the most compelling look to potentially change it. From the other angle, I thought she looked out. But
If this is you gloating, by the way, you need to do a much better job.
Just own it. Own it. She was out. You were wrong. Just tell us.
I do have to say though, defensively, that's a great play to go
Yes,
right
it is.
with the speed of Skylar Wallace. I mean, and still going after. That's how you take pressure off your pitching staff.
Well, from the left field, most of this tournament, maybe it's the hot corner today. We've seen both Pooney and Eccles come up with big plays.
Long way to catch up to what left field's done this tournament.
Well, nobody's going to touch our camera guy Dorian in the play he made earlier.
That's true.
In
And
the
throw it back
broadcast.
in.
No
today.
chance.
Throwing out the runner at
Yeah.
home from atop the camera stand
And from his left hand.
and left-handed.
And he's
Yeah.
not left-handed. That's the impressive part.
Yep. Maybe he was talking to Zeta. or vice versa. More likely Zeta was talking to him.
You ever get a boss is what you do.
Three-two pitch to Eccles. And a couple on base now for the Gators after the walk.
Now, at bat, second base number 15, Reagan Walsh.
Second free pass given up by Rogers.
The other was to Reagan Walsh in the first, and here she comes. Home.
Oh.
We got you covered here.
That's right.
All right, 2 on and a chance for Walsh. Here it is, Gator Nation. One for you guys. Down the line and back to Gville.
Boom.
There's some hops.
That's awesome.
Outside.
That pitch was just a bit outside. Walsh, the sophomore from Redondo Beach, as you see what Rogers is up to. Not a lot of run in the last 12 1/3. Gators threatened in the first, and now here again in the third.
Rogers has been working a lot of curveball today.
Both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the rise.
Got to believe, right, Smitty, you come in with a game plan, certainly of what you're thinking you want to throw to particular people, and then as things play out, you sort of adapt and adjust. Okay, well, this is really working, or they're really missing this a lot.
Absolutely. And also the umpire strike zone.
Yeah. Oh, she got Walsh way out of the zone there to end the threat. Roger.
Coming to the plate number 5, Riley West.
Riley West to start it off, 4, 5, and 6. And base hit. Left side for Riley. She's on for the second time.
Look at the positioning of Charla Eccles right on that line. You don't see that very often because they're coming so inside. It opens up that 5-6 hole. No chance of being able to get to this one.
Second base number 13, Sam Rowe. First base number 15.
Now she's off the line. Lefty up.
They made some changes defensively over on the right side to start this inning for Tim Walton. We'll get to that in a second. As Trilochik now faces Lair Boutte, an RBI single for her. Down to Walsh, to Wallace for one, over to Rowe trying to get the double play, and there you go. There's your defensive changes. Walsh now over at first and Rowe at second.
Now and back for the Lady Vols. The shortstop, number 12, Mackenzie Donahue.
One down, and it's Mackenzie Donahue. Flew out to right field her first time up. It's a move probably to get some more power in the lineup to keep the bats in the batting order.
Ball.
As we've heard from Florida and Holly Rowe in her postgame with Skylar Wallace, they pretty much have set a number of about 8 runs, they figure, if they're going to win games and get deep into the SEC tournament. Rowe flips to Wallace, dropped it. Everybody safe.
Part of those defensive changes that were just made. Sam Rowe now at second base. And that flip over to Wallace, that's just too high. That throw needs to be a little bit lower so she can handle it. When this first came off the bat, to me it looked like this was going to be a double play,
yeah.
Absolutely. But that flip, that toss over from Rowe needs to be in a better position.
Score at E4. That is the second of the ball game for Florida. The first one cost them on a 2-run home run from Malloy.
Come right off the bench, too, and 2 balls consecutively. This one a hot shot, but an easy double play, what should have been. And it's a catchable ball for Wallace.
Yeah.
Well, she's coming through trying to turn.
Yeah, and you could see that Rowe almost kind of looked at first base and then was like, okay, Wallace, and then had to backhand flip and
play with fewer strikeouts.
Well, because the pitching staff doesn't have the number of strikeouts. It's actually 30% less strikeouts this year.
Wallace, and there right on cue is the double play. They didn't realize it was 3 outs, but it is.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error.
There's Walls. Top 4, Ashley Rogers to face 5, 6, and 7.
Ball down.
And for Ashley Rogers, the personal award, the SEC Softball Scholar Athlete of the Year with a 4.0, going for her master's in kinesiology.
You know, obviously she's got a very difficult task. She is studying to become a doctor, and she wants to go into medicine. She's already taken the MCAT once. She's going to take it again this summer after she finishes her pro ball career or her pro ball season. But she is graduating this Saturday, and it has been an unbelievable academic journey. 4.0 in a very difficult kinesiology major.
Well, she's used some of her own studies because of some of the injuries that she's had to really, study the pitching motion and the mechanics of what you need to do to stay healthy.
How cool is that? To be able to,
awesome.
and honestly, how it should be. The application of what you do in life and your studies, and both of those to come together.
Well, it's also helped too, Karen Wigley was talking about, in her preparation. She is one of those knowledge seekers and loves trying to figure things out on her own. What she might be able to tweak here or there. Egan fouls one down the line. She has also done a terrific job since she hasn't been throwing as many innings. Weekly has been really proud of the way she has mentored this pitching staff. You know, Carlin Pickens is the SEC's Freshman of the Year. And then Peyton Gottschall, the transfer from Bowling Green, has been a really solid addition to that pitching room. Induces the ground out there, 1 away.
Yeah, and I feel like, physically not having the burden of having to throw all those innings is huge. But I can see it mentally in her that, she knows she has help. And that makes a big difference nowadays. Just knowing that if you don't have your A game or you're not feeling good, there's somebody else. And I think Pickens is going to be the future of the program, but to be able to share her knowledge with that freshman, to be able to help mold her for the future, I think is just going to be outstanding.
Look at the ERA between the 3 of them. Obviously Ashley Rogers, but that's why it's so good. Karen Weekly told her before the season, look, you're not going to win as many awards, just because you're not going to have the innings pitch. And she said Ashley got a huge grin on her face and was like, I'm okay with that. Like, we have a staff. Like, I don't need to win Pitcher of the Week and Player of the Year. And
I need to win the SEC, which
exactly.
she did.
Exactly. and I'm sure that's more gratifying, right? Because it's a team award. Everybody's moving in the same direction, and that's what you never forget.
Well, when you look at those ERAs, too, by the way, you could literally have a different starter all 3 games in a regional if you wanted.
Yeah.
And certainly a bullpen to work through any roadblocks that you might encounter, say at a Super Regional or the World Series.
watch the freshman Carly Pickens numbers too. I mean, she has, I guess, the highest ERA of the numbers on the staff, but she's only going to get better. I mean,
well, she's a lot of heat right now, and as she really matures and starts to bend the ball a little more and rely less on the heat, she's only going to get better.
Heat works in high school.
Exactly. Exactly.
You need a little more deception at the college level to go with it. Full count to Pollard.
Oh my goodness. Look at that little bundle of joy.
A little banana time.
Oh, I love this. Oh, I love all the young girls that are out here.
Is that a yo-yo? What is that?
No, it's one of those sticky things. You like throw it at something.
And a strikeout for Rogers, 2 down.
Rogers just continuing to work the edges, getting the swing and miss. Just so strong.
Holly?
Well, guys, one of the things you're talking about with Ashley being okay with taking fewer innings, giving up for the sacrifice of the staff, the theme that they've had because of this book they read, The Twin Thieves, is an African word that's shared in the book called Ubuntu, and it means that you are nothing without your teammates. The word actually means I am because of you, we are because of us. And this book says the thing is you don't have to sacrifice your own individual goals to commit to Ubuntu and being a team. And that's what she's done. She has her individual goals. She's still at the top of her game. The staff leads the SEC in batting average, opponents' batting average, ERA, but they have done it with this feeling of it's all of us, not just me, it's all of us.
Yeah, one of the messages in that book too, family, forget about me, I love you. And I just think, it's one thing to read a book and have these conversations, but the buy-in from this team, I mean, that's the ultimate, is when every coach wants to kind of give the information, say this is what you need to be, because they understand. I mean, Karen Weekly knows, she's been around long enough, but to get the buy-in, it starts with actually your teammates buying in and spreading throughout the team.
Looking for strikeout number 6 right here.
Well, it's interesting the way they're playing Kistler here. The defensive alignment has just been kind of crazy. Look at the pitching opponent's slug. Oh, there's a look at the alignment. Look at the way that they are way off and way back. Kistler tried to lay the bunt down earlier in the at-bat, wasn't able to get it. But to me, that's all analytics, and that all plays into why the pitching numbers are so good, right? But it's also positioning. When the ball is put in play, they know the trends.
Softball shift. It doesn't have to be on the other side of the field, but the variance between the two teams today alone.
There's another swing and miss. Strikeout number 6 for Ashley Rogers. Throwing a bagel up on the boards in the 2nd inning after Lair Boutte drove in a run with a single in the 1st. Jamison Brackenbrough the other way, 1 down.
We get to see Kiki Malloy again this inning. Bottom of the order right here, Katie Taylor got on base for that 2-run shot you referenced.
And Katie reached on an error at 3rd. Folks starting to show up out on the berm. They're bringing their gloves for any home run balls. That's where Malloy hit one out there in deep center. They know where to go.
Oh yeah, the gloves have come out.
Yeah, they know where to go. Yeah, she's in the right spot.
Oh yeah, she's. I mean, she's like she's locked in.
Out.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't make me move. I'm right here. Hit it to me.
Right over that 220.
Center fielder, you can tell.
Rowe over to first, 2 down. Well, Tuesday it's in the second, and here she comes again.
Ball out.
I love it. You crush a home run pretty much 300 feet over center, and because the defense back, I'm just going to show a little bunt. Let you know I got the speed, too.
Keep them on their toes.
Mess with the D. You can hear Kiki yell no. Oh, they're on. And ready position,
Oh, I
too.
love it.
Oh, you notice the girl that was over the fence, she moved back. She's like, I know who's up now. I can be over the fence.
Ball.
I'll show Dorian how it's done. Watch this catch. You know what that reminds me of? Did you guys play 500 as a kid? All lined up in the outfield, full contact, knocking each other over,
Yep.
trying to get to fly balls?
Yeah, we called it flies and grounders.
Oh, okay. You get a score for each one that you
Yep.
get, you know?
Yep.
Like 3 flies up.
Dead.
Oh, and that hits her.
As a student athlete, she was named the torch bearer, and it is a huge honor. No softball player has ever won that award, and Karen Weekly said she is just the most unbelievable young woman. The impact she has had across campus, not just in athletics. She is part of the Vol Leadership Program where they go and do servant leadership, and her dad had this great tweet like, gosh, we gave you our daughter years ago and you have blended her and molded her into this incredible young woman, and the torchbearer, indeed, the highest honor at Tennessee, and it belongs to Kiki Malloy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, both parents, tremendous college athletes. Of course, Lawyer Malloy into professional sports. I believe we saw Kiki the other day on social media or one of the interviews saying she's coming back for more. And that is roped off the wall. They are waving Kiki home. Wallace fires it in. And Malloy is safe at the plate. They strike again with 2 outs on the RBI double for Zeta Pooney.
Look at the location of this pitch. Zeta Pooney stays open with that front foot. I mean, that's how fast Kiki Malloy is. I mean, she got from first around third base so quickly. And I thought, you know, Skylar Wallace had a chance there. One of the best arms of the shortstop had the relay. It was a close play at home.
That was great from Karen Weekly in the third base coach's box. She was already waving Kiki home as she was touching second base.
Yes.
Appreciating the speed. They'll get in a pinch runner here for Pooney, who can re-enter. And it's Bradley Masusa. Karen Weekly in Tennessee trying to get as many people as they can into the action today in their opener here at the SEC tournament. Boo Gibson walked in the first, grounded out in the second, and they intentionally walking Boo here. Yep. That's because she's got 15 home runs and close to 60 RBIs, and there is activity now again in the bullpen. Hightower and Delbury.
All the attention that Kiki Malloy gets. Boo Gibson, you forget about how great of a season she has had. That shows the respect right there.
Watch the afterburners from Malloy, and look at the confidence from Karen Weekly in that third base coach's box left side, already waving her in. Head for home, kiddo. Heck of a relay, by the way, for Wallace. It was on point, but Malloy got there first. It's been fun watching these two go head-to-head here today.
Yes. Malloy's winning so far. As far as just the day that she's had. Pop and the speed.
Tennessee's going to be home for the NCAA tournament, likely for both weekends if they keep winning. But how about Florida? Skylar Wallace could be coming to a town near you, and as a seeded team, I'd be a little weary about that, a little leery.
Absolutely.
Weary and leery. Fury? Sorry.
Cat in the hat right now.
A bridge too far. Ball four to load them up. All this coming with 2 outs, and it started with Malloy getting hit by a pitch.
Yeah, they've been outstanding with 2 outs. 3 for 6 on the game with 2 outs. Scoring all the runs. Strikeouts are down. It's just more pressure on the defense, more balls in play, more opportunities for balls to be booted or mistakes to be made.
And the team knows it. It's part of their identity. I mean, Skylar Wallace, after their last win in her interview, was like, 6 runs ain't going to cut it. We got to score 8 every game, even though they had won that game with 6.
Butte, bases loaded. Drove in a run in the first, and then reached on a fielder's choice in the third. Pulls it to Rowe at second, and the flip to Wallace ends the threat. They leave him.
Pitch, knowing that she can throw it 2 different locations.
Named first team All SEC this morning, along with Boo McKenna, Kiki Malloy, Zeta Pooney. Emily Wilkie is your pinch hitter here, and that one surged towards the dugout and in.
Oh, it got somebody. I heard it. The one spot that's not netted, there's like 18 people.
Everybody's crowded into it. Everybody's okay.
Oh, hello.
This is 8-9-1 in the order. Holly Rose down there checking out. Everybody's okay, looks like, yep. Wilkie hit a home run against Tennessee during the regular season. And another swing and miss, but it's in the dirt. The throw down, not in time.
It's a change-up, and it just gets away from Julia. You can see the way it hits the dirt, gets behind her. Wilkie, good job of immediately knowing that ball's down in the dirt and getting away. Hustles down the line. Drop third strike.
Scored as the 7th strikeout, and then a wild pitch, I believe. And Longley will re-enter as the pinch runner.
Re-entering the game, to runner, catcher number 52, Sarah Longley.
So Sam Rowe, who came on to hit for Avery Gels and then stayed in the game, will swing again here in the 9 spot. Now playing second base. Chance here for the Gators to make some noise because you've got Skylar Wallace on deck, and do you want to pitch to her? With 2 aboard, when one swing could make it a 1-run game. Rowe pops it up. That takes away some of your options, but Skylar will come up with a runner on base. 1 down.
She had the green light, 3-0. Looked like they were just going to walk her, and then came back inside. She was ready.
Yeah.
You got to be when pitchers throw around you, and you might see 1 or 2 strikes the entire game.
Ball.
So just in the last couple of minutes, a chill has fallen over Bogle Park. The clouds have rolled back in, and there is a stiff breeze blowing out of the ballpark right now.
A chill at probably 75 degrees.
Well, I went from 75 to 73.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, they've got the runner picked off. In the rundown. And a miscue for the Gators. And Sarah Longley, and now have you just taken the bat out of Wallace's hands?
You could actually see the frustration on Wallace's face because they were coming after her, giving her pitches to hit. I don't know if they even pitched to her now.
And Tim Walton just hands crossed in that third base box. The promise of the inning just a few moments ago has deteriorated into that look on his face, unfortunately for the Gators.
Wallace had the same look. It's like,
Ball.
she had a chance to not walk.
Now at the plate for Florida.
And just the indecision, unfortunately for Tennessee, that ball popped right up into the glove of Julia. Here's Kendra Falby with 2 outs.
Imagine Wallace will run at some point. Just to kind of create some offense for Florida.
She's 30 for 31 on the season, swiping second.
Did she make an attempt?
Here's the 1-1. Falby, backhanded, over to first, and it's an errant throw from Pooney over to Gibson. Wallace being waved home, and she will score uncontested, no throw to the plate. And are they going to rule it a dead ball? That Wallace has to go back to third base here. E5.
I'm putting E5.
Big chance here for Charlotte Eccles to do some damage. Cut the deficit in half or more. Charlotte Eccles, who drove in a pair of runs in their win over Kentucky yesterday. Here's the 1-1. 2-1.
Boy, they are really challenging her underneath the hands.
I love when pitchers can do that. They can find that river that's inside, not hitting the batter, not for a strike.
Then they go away to catch the outside corner.
Yeah, because even if it's called a strike or not, it gets the hitter thinking, okay, she's not afraid to get in my kitchen. When you know that, you're on your heels. That outside pitch looks a mile away.
Reached for it. Rogers over to first. So's Arkansas, so's Georgia. Alabama with a couple wins here probably will be staying at home in Tuscaloosa for the first round. Elizabeth Hightower's your new pitcher, and 4 other changes defensively we'll get for you. Slow roller to Eccles, she'll scoop. Donahue retired.
Hightower with the most experience on this Gator club. She's going to be in the mid-50s to mid-60s. It's really all about throwing 3 different speeds, and when she can really vary that velocity, it's what makes her most effective. She will throw a rise on multiple planes. At times it looks like a screwball rise ball that kind of moves through the zone, but it's really ability to mix those 3 speeds that makes her be at her best.
And
There's Julia Koutsianopoulos. Hightower was a 3rd-team All-American a couple of years ago. Just a remarkable run of pitchers. You guys ready for a trip down memory lane? From Stacy Nelson to Steph Brombacher to Hannah Rogers, Lauren Hager, Delaney Gorley, Alicia Ocasio, Kelly Barnhill. Next year they bring in the #1 pitcher out of high school. Can they get it going again?
Yeah.
This is the first time under Tim Walton that they did not have a winning record in SEC play, so they will have a lot to fight for next season. Been kind of a flip, the Blue Bloods of Florida and Alabama and LSU, and now the likes of Arkansas the last couple of years, and Auburn with recent trips to the World Series, and South Carolina trying to move up the charts.
It's good for the conference, even though while you're in the conference, most teams are like really nice if we had like a bottom 4 we could just beat up on.
Well, there used to be that. There used to be a separation. Right?
Yeah.
There used to be those clubs that, and to be honest, Arkansas was one of those for a while before Courtney Deifel got here, that, you know, you just thought, all right, well, that's a sweep. Those are 3 wins. But not anymore. I don't know that you could say that there is for any club here in the SEC now. I mean, I think sweeps in general are hard.
They're probably going to get 12, maybe 13 in. We'll keep an eye on Mississippi State, I think, on Selection Sunday.
Dorian's got to jump in front of the camera
And try to catch that.
Is that screen around the camera to protect Dorian from the ball, or from the ball from Dorian? He's been scooping him up down there. There he is. Oh, that was with the right hand. He's ambidextrous.
There you go.
And they're playing Staying Alive for him on the public address here. What's the over-under on Dorian's phone for text messages from his friends and family today?
He's checking.
Set it at 100.
He's blown up.
Full count. And that one is golfed out of the grass out in shallow left. Wallace will take it. 2 down. Here comes Brockenbrough.
Now and back for Tennessee, number 19, James Brockenbrough.
Oh for 2, grounded back to the pitcher, and then a fly out to left. So that's from behind Dorian, and that is what he is showing us right now in his camera. And a base rip. 2-out base runner with Brockenbrough aboard, and that'll bring up Katie Taylor with Kiki Malloy on deck.
I like it's bad because Hightower goes away a lot, but she comes inside of Brockenbrough on this one, and you just watch the hips stay closed first and open up. Nice base hit from the bottom of the order. Tennessee, another 2-out hit.
4 for 8 now with 2 outs.
Taylor swings through it. Katie reached on an error, scored on the Malloy home run in the 2nd, and then grounded to second base in the 4th. In the dirt, and another runner hung up, but they throw behind the play, and that allows Brockenbrough to advance to second.
And that far off the bag, you've got to run at the runner. They're not hung up when you throw behind them, and so you can see Brockenbrough, she's starting and then she's not sure, and then they throw behind to first base, and she's already leaning towards second.
And then Hightower comes back to get the strikeout. 5 complete. Can they take a big hack at it like Kiki Malloy? A 2-run home run to lead the way for the top seed Lady Vols. Winner gets Alabama tonight in our 2nd semifinal. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, Holly Rose. Four, 5, 6. Here's Reagan Walsh. They have mustered just 3 hits against Ashley Rogers, who has struck out 7. And yet they still had runners in scoring position in 3 of the first 5 innings today.
Rogers has just been good situationally. You know, she's not allowed an extra base hit with runners on. Florida's just 1 for 7. They're just 1 for 6 with 2 outs, and they're 0 for 4 risk. So if you look at every situational hitting category, she's just been able to shut down Florida when it counts.
Inside.
Walsh draws the walk.
Now at bat, the right fielder, number 55, Cal Egan.
There's a look at the Gators during the regular season and today against Tennessee.
Ashley Rogers attacking hitters early in this game. 7 of the 8 batters she faced to lead off this game, first pitch strikes, only 2 of 14 first pitch strikes since then.
Pal Egan.
Outside.
That one's fouled out of play. Two-two pitch.
Gonna call her out. Maybe her foot was out of the
Yeah,
box.
I was just gonna say she's crossing that front foot. She has that cross stride, closed stride. She was out of the box on one of the replays we showed. Usually you see it with slappers. For her, it's just her stride for that front foot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, way out.
But she's almost stepping on the plate.
Yeah. So with one out, here comes Pollard again. A fly out and a strikeout for Kayla after she homered yesterday for the Gators. In foul territory, room for Pooney, and oh, swirled on her a little bit.
We talked about the wind. It's picking up, and it's actually changed since you even mentioned it. It looked like it was going to be easy fly ball. This is not an easy catch once it goes over your head. You kind of lose it there for a second.
There's Katie Kistler. Twice a strikeout victim. A pitch in the dirt, blocked by Kutsianopoulos.
Kutsianopoulos has done a good job behind the dish. She gets herself in a good low position. Keeps the ball in front.
Fly ball right center, Malloy. After the walk, 3 in a row retired by Rogers. And Kiki Malloy will lead things off in the bottom of the order for Tennessee. And Tennessee on top. And the Lady Vols now find themselves 3 outs away from advancing to play Alabama in our second semifinal this afternoon. How's the glove patrol? They are ready to go out there in center
the
field.
positioning too. Oh, I got this side. Ready, position, go.
Looks Looks like one of the dads is trying to give him some guidance, and now they're considering moving to the to left field, I think.
No, they're going back. Well, should we
go?
This would be a gutsy move if one of them went solo on their own and went where the others are not. Yeah, I think they're a little too close together.
They could each have a field. They could have left, center, and right.
Very good point. And instead it'll be Charlotte Eccles making the play. One down.
That's always the worst. The check pop up.
The oops.
Yeah.
That's a good teammate, though. You get that oops swing, go right to your next hitter, Zeta Poonies. You look at the Lady Vols. First 2 hitters of the team today.
Scored 3, driven in 3.
They've been the offense. She got a game today. Or she wants to get in today.
She's like, darn it, I wore my home Florida jersey, the whites. I should have worn the blues.
Is today Friday? Is school already out? Confused. There's a lot of kids here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's best education, though. Yeah, we
It-
got it
Oh, yeah.
everywhere.
Look at
And they
this.
brought their gloves. It's awesome. Just hope your teacher's not watching.
There's the 1-2. Skied down the line and foul.
Ooh.
Oh, that's up
That
on
was
the upper
way
deck.
out,
Oh, Florida's going for it. She is on the run.
She is.
But now she's debating, will you let me back in if I run through the gate? She's asking security, will you let me back in? Your re-entry rule. If you go, leave once and come back, you can't get back in the game.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we
They
won't
got over
chance
there
it.
quick.
It just begs someone from the TV compound to throw it back into.
Dorian, leave your camera. Go help him out. Florida's entire infield, or 3 of them on the left side of the field.
Oh, yeah, look at this shift for Pooney.
Don't see this very often. Reagan Walsh right there, 15.
Yeah.
Is their second baseman.
And she still beats the shift over the head of Wallace out to left. Good stuff from Pooney. Oh, and now on the overthrow, she'll take second base. Gators have lost a little focus here.
How good is this? You got the entire infield on the left side of the field because you know exactly where she's going to go. See shortstop and second base playing to that. She finds the rare hole in that 5-6 hole. Still gets a hit and aggressive base running on the overthrow. That's why you're always looking. Assist from the umpire too. Although I think she still would have had it.
That is the 3rd charged error on Florida after the single by Pooney. There we go, souvenir. Oh, it's Florida's buddy. It's McDaniel's buddy that got it.
There we go. Oh.
That was nice. He went.
Look at
they're
they're
pushing over
fighting.
it.
They're fighting.
Is holding on to the dog as impressive as holding on to the beer to make a catch? Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh,
and there's the dog.
everybody's okay. Whew.
Everybody's okay.
Oops. Ooh. Except maybe for Gibson, who just got hit by the pitch. Gonna shake it off down to Holly.
Well, I happened to be in Knoxville in early February, and I was able to meet with the Lady Vol softball team. Karen Weekly had me talk to them briefly, and I said to them, hey, how are you guys feeling? Are you going to be good this year? And someone piped up from the back and said, we will compete for championships this year. I was like, wow, okay, I love that confidence. In early February, well, sure enough, they have. So when I saw the team today, I walked in, I said, hey, remember when we all got our picture together and took a picture and you guys said you were going to win a championship? Well, they went ahead.
Different programs hosted regionals last year. 3 times everybody was in the pool for the NCAA tournament with invitations. And over the last decade, 8 different schools have been to the World Series. Now, there was just the one last year, and it's been dwindling the last several seasons. They once had 5 teams at the World Series. So you know there's talk around the rest of the country, well, maybe the SEC's taken a step or 2 backwards. They haven't, of course, won a championship since Florida's second title, 2015.
It's a credit to the other conferences, too.
Yeah.
We're seeing the ACC be so competitive. I mean, last year, the Big 12, and not just Oklahoma, Texas and Oklahoma State. And the Pac-12 is back. I feel like they took a hiatus where they had maybe 1 or 2 teams that would compete, and now I mean, you got teams like Utah that is normally at the bottom of the pack competing.
Yeah, it's not a given anymore.
No, UCLA is at the top, but right there in the middle, there's a lot of really good teams.
Some strong mid-majors, some huge names in the sport that are on the bubble right now, including Michigan, Arizona, Notre Dame. Fly ball to Falby, she's got it. 2 down.
Now, Tennessee's second baseman number 2, Lair Boutte.
And here comes Lair Boutte. RBI single in the first. They scored 2 more in the second on the Malloy home run and then added 1 in the fourth on the Pooney RBI double. Zaid is out there at second base right now. 2 on, 2 out.
Boutte, the RBI that she had back in the first, going opposite field, and that's where Karen Weekly says her swing is the best. She's got a pitcher right now that's going to throw her away. That's why she was attacking that first pitch.
Last chance for Florida in the 7th will include Skylar Wallace. Due up 3rd in the inning. As Florida will try and avoid the shutout, extend this ball game, extend their stay here. Right back to Hightower, snags it, side retired, so 1 more chance today, a 3-hit shutout. She's got 7 strikeouts and she will face 8, 9, and 1 to try and close it out.
Down.
Last 2 in the order do not have a hit today off of Rogers. Skylar Wallace would be due up 3rd, the SEC Player of the Year.
Ball.
3-0 count, the pinch count up over 120 for Rogers.
That's what we've seen a lot of in this game was, you know, Ashley Rogers so good at attacking the strike zone early, but now it's been more balls than strikes, and Florida pitchers have been behind in almost every count.
The Raleigh Benjamins are out. Longley, fly ball to West. 1 down.
Good job by Rogers to come back from that 3-0 count.
Pat Murphy in his postgame with Holly Rowe last night for Alabama already said there was no plan to pitch Montana Fouts the rest of the way for the Tide, so they, winner of this one, would face somebody else. Oh, and that hits her, and Wallace will come up with Gels aboard. Struck out in the first, singled in the third, and then a couple of miscues ahead of her in the 5th inning allowed Tennessee to walk her.
Every rally starts with her. Skylar Wallace, the reason why she's player of the year, not just the numbers, but she's not on this team. They don't win as many games. They want a chance. It's going to be this at bat. They've really thrown a combination of what they did there, kind of coming middle in, but then really trying to hit that low and away spot. Got her to chase on it, her first at bat.
Florida really hasn't been able to rough up Rogers. It's really been mostly free passes. 5 of those on the game. Just the 3 hits, one of which was like a hit error thingy. So really just 2 hits.
Yeah.
And no extras, right?
No extras. Been a lot of traffic, but
Yeah. Thingy, by the way, is a technical term.
it is.
Code for
Meaning
disagree
that
with the call.
Could have been a single, could have been an error. Off the mask of Kutsoyanopoulos. One-two to Skylar Wallace. Ground ball left side. There's 1. They won't try for 2. And they've got the 2nd out. And now the Gators down to their final out. Otherwise, it's Tennessee and Alabama in the semis. Lady Vols took 2 of 3 from the Tide in Knoxville during the regular season, en route to that regular season championship.
You got to credit Ashley Rogers in this game for keeping the bat of Skylar Wallace this quiet.
Yeah, they've neutralized her. Absolutely.
She had the 1 base hit, but it was just a ground ball through the infield.
Ball down.
On the
That was a
3-0
3-0
pitch.
count.
Yeah.
You guys always remember a good 3-0 pitch, don't you?
Oh, yeah. The things that stick out, right?
Falby has 2 of their 3 hits. One was the thingy.
The thingy.
Has reached all 3 times today. And now down to their final strike.
Rogers used that pitch, change up, a lot early in the game, and then has kind
Went
of gone
away.
away from it. Yeah, just bringing it back out.
Just a reminder. Still got this one too.
Got her. 6th shutout of the season for Ashley Rogers, and she does it in the SEC quarterfinals to Florida. 4-0 your score, and the top seed advances.
Rogers strong in the circle, 7 strikeouts. Probably more free passes than what she would want, but really doing a good job of neutralizing the offense of Florida.
Kiki Malloy, big home run. It felt like hours ago that she hit that, but getting the offensive going and showing off her skills as
Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. Whenever I look into your eyes, I find less peace and love for me. You are everything that I have ever wanted. I want to spend every second of my life with you. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are and will remain mine forever and ever. I don't know if some kind of a magical if agreeing with you. So the joy effect that I have turned us away. So did the effect on your smile on me in my life. Baby, you are